Every year, there are a staggering 1.2 billion women around the world who cannot afford their own menstrual products. And this issue is known as period poverty. This is a major problem in many developing nations all around the world. 1 in 5 young women experiencing period poverty end up skipping school or dropping out altogether because of the social and emotional impacts of improper hygiene and lack of period education. And it is critical for girls to stay in school and get an education in the first place. According to UNICEF, girls' education strengthens economies and reduces inequality. Girls who receive an education are more likely to earn higher incomes, participate in decisions that affect them, and can ultimately build better futures for themselves and their families. Fortunately, as this issue of period poverty becomes more widely known, people are working together to empower communities both locally and globally. In Huntington, Indiana, one group meets regularly to sew reusable feminine hygiene care products by hand to be delivered to Liberia where they are needed. To get a closer look at what they do and how they're making a difference, Isaac and I joined them for one of their sewing meetings. But first, let's meet the woman who started this group in the first place, who also happens to be one of my good friends. Guys, this is Brooke, Richison. We went to school together. Brooke, what did you major in?
I majored in history education and international development.
Today, we are going to the sewing barn. How would you explain what we're doing today?
Basically, what we're doing is sewing feminine products for women in developing countries. We're doing that because we want to keep them in the school system, and it's a long story of how they actually stay in the school system. But there was a woman who had a sewing barn, and it just so happened the Lord was working through me, through her, through our church, through people in Maryland, and now we just get together and sew these products in packages for women.
Well, I'm excited. I've never sewed before, ever. Thankfully, there's going to be somebody there teaching us how to do it. How many times have you gone then?
Oh gosh, I can't even.
So it's not like your second or
third. This is not my second or third time. Yeah, I don't know. Can't count.
Are you a professional sewer?
No, I'm not. I'm more of a professional socializer. And I do the very basic sewing, but that's all you need. Just show up and they'll teach you.
Dang.
So.
Guys, we are here at the sewing barn and it looks super cool. We are a little late, but that's okay. Hello. Hi. I can help wherever I'm needed, so.
Want to learn how to sew?
Sure. Yeah, if you want to teach me how to sew, that'd be awesome.
I won't, but Peggy will.
Okay. Okay.
We're just going to sew on this side.
That doesn't look too bad.
No, it's very easy. It's just a straight line.
Okay.
It's a straight line.
Perfect. I was able to do one before you got here, Isaac. You're supposed to go in a straight line, but I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I like to go at a nice medium pace. I think you can go faster than this, but I don't want to. And then you're supposed to try to get in between those seams. But that doesn't always happen. Yeah, this is it. Wait, I was supposed to secure something. Dang it.
Pull it a little bit, and then slip it.
All right.
And wow, you know how to sew.
Hey.
Good job, Isaac.
Basically, we are making these feminine hygiene products for women in Liberia, Saudi Arabia, and South Sudan. They're sewing right now these things. They're basically reusable pads. Each girl will get a kit, and in this kit we have soap, we have washcloths, we have underwear. Then inside we attach a pad. So they just Velcro around the underwear. This pad has reusable linings in it. So we give them 8 of these, 2 of these pads. And this way they can just take them out, wash them, reuse them. And it's super sustainable. We've had a lot of churches and just individuals donate so much of their time and money to just bars of soap or fabric or safety pins. Who would have thought you needed safety pins or flannel? I don't know. But it's been so great. It's been so fruitful. God is literally sustaining this. It started and we're okay, is this gonna keep going? And look at how many people are here. So yeah, it's been so good. It's been so good. So funny story, when I first started this, I am pretty sure the lady thought what is this girl doing? Because she's yeah, you're gonna need a serger for this, and I had no idea what a serger was. And then I showed up and Peggy was I have 3, and I'm okay, fantastic. This is great.
I'm Peggy Bush. We built this sewing room several years ago, and I was looking for a way to teach people to sew. And when Brooke found the project or thought of the project, didn't know how to sew, didn't have a place to sew. And so we told her we could put legs under this project. We started with 5 high school students, 4 of whom had never touched a sewing machine before. And then through the power of social media, the next time we had 14 girls, and then the next time we had 19 girls. And then we got the nursing students involved, and it's just grown from there.
We were having such a good time learning how to sew with Brooke and Peggy. And while we were talking, we found out that the man who actually delivers the hygiene kits to Liberia lives right here in Fort Wayne. So we immediately got connected with him and asked if he would sit down and talk with us a little more about his life and work in Liberia. Today we are interviewing the guy from Liberia who I've never met. His name is Joe, and he takes some of the feminine hygiene care products to Liberia. So I'm excited to meet him.
My name is Joe Weatu Boway. I'm like the superintendent of 15 schools in Africa, in Liberia, West Africa. I make sure the teachers get trained, even do construction on school buildings. So I'm a jack of all trades. That's what I do. Brooke knew some people in Maryland that help us send stuff to Africa. And then she has a group here in Huntington and Fort Wayne and in between that do sew some hygiene kits. And that's how it all got started. And we were so thankful that she helped to also get some of the hygiene kits for the girls. The schools we have, they are all in the rural area. And those places, there's no convenience store or supermarket where the girls can go and purchase those things. And even if they have it, they don't have money and they don't feel comfortable to be using those pads that they make at home to come to school so they don't have accident and what have you. So they rather stay at home. And that's why we figure out if we can come out with a plan to help those girls so that they won't be absent from school. We did a survey. The girls would talk to us and say, did your mom ever talk to you about it? I said, no, my friend talked to me about it. Or my sister talked to me about it. But the parents don't talk about it because it's like a taboo to the parents. We have over 6,000 children in our schools, and over 50% of those kids are girls or female. So you see, the need is great. People ask me all the time, what can we do? And sometimes people think, oh, you need money? It's true we need money, but our number one need is prayer. Because when God's people pray, God does his work. God is doing what he's doing today through us because of his people. God's people here. And I want to say thank you to them. This is not my doing. This is not something that I ever dream of doing on my own. But it's God's people that keep praying and giving and encouraging. And that's what I'm doing,
So I just got home. I just wanted to do like a quick recap of some of my thoughts that I was processing while we were there at the sewing barn. I think a lot of times when God gives us something to start or a vision that he puts on our hearts, and then we just go out and we try to do what he's calling us to do, but then when we get rejected, I think that's where so many of us give up. And I think it's really not about like what other people say, but if God has put it on our hearts, then we are to just trust him and even trust him with the outcome. That was just really inspiring. And I just encourage you guys that if you're watching this and you feel like God has given you a dream or a vision, something from him, just continue to keep sticking with it, even though people might reject you for it or they might not necessarily be on board. Right now I'm in grad school. So I graduated from high school, graduated from college, and now I'm currently getting my master's of business administration. And I don't ever want to take my education for granted. As a woman, there's already different obstacles that women have to face. And then to even know like how much of a difference education does make and how important it is for girls to stay in school, especially in developing countries. And then to have your period, just a natural thing. And knowing that that is something that literally stops girls from being able to keep going to school, it just seems so unfair. And as I was like processing that, I'm like, man, I never want to take my education for granted. So Brooke had mentioned a book that she had read called Half the Sky. Let me get that for you guys. You can't really like see the cover. I rented it from the library because I'm too cheap to buy the book. It's by Nicholas D. Kristoff and Sherilyn Woodun. Go get yourself a copy. Go to the library if you don't care to spend $5 on Amazon. But anyway, those were just, yeah, my final takeaways. I can't wait till this official video comes out.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It means a lot to us. If you guys were inspired by what you saw today, there are several ways that you guys can get involved. A great place to start is in the links in the description below. There's a lot of good resources there, so please check those out. Like always, please, please, please take this time to like our video, subscribe to our channel, leave a comment. Every bit of interaction helps us a ton, especially as we are starting off. So if you guys want to see more videos like these, we'd really appreciate your engagement right now in the infant stage of our channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you are human, you have light to offer. So thank you for being the loose. I will see you guys in the next video.